You know, I mean, I think that there's an attribute that comes with having survived struggle that brings to an organization a kind of heart that it wouldn't have if it's just populated by people who've had lives of privilege. Right? And I think it also brings an element of creativity that wouldn't exist otherwise because, again, when I think about first generation students and them having to find a way when their way appears not to be possible, that requires sort of this creative approach to the world of being able to find find a door when it seems to be this sort of like this blank space. And so when first generation students then are in situations with others, they can help them to see possibilities that might not otherwise be there. I think the other thing that I find with first generation students is that because they've had to rely upon the support, the kindness, generosity, challenge of others, that there's a service ethic that's very different in terms of desire to say, now that I made it, I don't want to turn my back on people who were in the situation that I was in, and so I want to figure out how do I give back. And again, I think that's sometimes very different than those who are privileged who says, well, I got here on my own effort and I just did my work and everything. They don't pay tribute to the communities that have nurtured them. But I see something different in first years. But let me just add one more thing. I think with first generation students, one of the things that they can bring to an institution that wouldn't be there otherwise is hope. Because it takes a huge leap to believe that something that you've not seen is possible. Sort of this faith in the unseen. And so oftentimes first generation students would come from environments where, at least when I think about my own, where at least my life was a life of sort of social isolation, where you feel like sort of your community isn't cared for, or who you are isn't valued. But you believe that you do have value. You do believe that a better world for yourself and others is possible. And I think that there's something incredible and something really powerful about having that element be present in an institution. And again, I think that that's why when I think about some of the kind of advocacy and the people who do a lot of the activism work, you find that there's a lot of first generation students in there because they're saying, we want to help our country, our community to achieve the ideal that we know is there, and that can come if we really are committed to working hard.